Good day, students. My name is Mahmoud Lo. My topic of presentation today will center on subject-verb agreement. In English grammar, it is called Concord. Concord simply means subject-verb agreement. The subject and the verb in a sentence must agree in person and in number. Examples: the boy goes to school every morning. Example 2, the boys go to school every day. Now, compare example 1 and example 2. You can see in example 1, the boy without S agreed with the verb goes. And in example 2, the boys with S agrees with the verb go. Here we understand that example 1 is singular and example 2 is plural. How do we know this? In English language, nouns are plural when S is added and they are singular without S. Verbs are singular with S and plural without S. Therefore, you have the boy goes to school every morning. The boys go to school every day. Now, you understand that when the subject does not carry S, is singular, the verb must carry S. That's in number 1. In number 2, the boys go. The subject carries S, therefore the verb cannot carry S. It will be wrong in English to say the boys goes. You say the boys go. Equally, you cannot say the boy go. You say the boy goes. Subjects are either singular or plural in number. Singular subject refers to one person, animal, place, or things. Plural subject refers to more than one. It could be 10, 20, up to any number. Verbs too are either singular or plural. Now, let's look at the rules that govern subject-verb agreement. Look at rule number 1. Singular subjects take singular verb. Examples: Fatu lives in London. You can see Fatu as the subject is singular because we're referring to one person. And the verb lives is also singular because the inflection carried, that's the S. And you were told earlier that nouns are singular without S, but verbs are singular with S. We move on. Example 2, the dog barks all night. We look at the word dog, it's referring to one animal. And bark as a verb carries S, which makes it singular. It gives the agreement between the subject and the verb. The dog barks all night. Here the dog is referring to a single animal. And the verb that follows, barks, is singular because it carries the inflection S. Example 3, the baby looks cute. Example 4, she has gone to the market. Example 5, the teacher always dresses smartly. So you can see all these examples have singular subject and their verbs are also singular because all the verbs carry s. And you were told that a verb is singular when it has s. We move on to rule number 2. Plural subject takes plural verb. We look at the examples here. Fatu and Ida live in London. Now, compare rule 1 and rule number 2. Here, you will observe that the verb live does not carry s because it's plural. Why the verb is plural? Because we have a plural subject. What makes the subject plural is Fatu and Ida. It's more than one. Therefore, it takes plural verb. Example 2, the dogs bark all night. Here, the noun dog carries s, makes it plural. Therefore, the verb must be plural. So we say the dogs bark all night. Now we move on to example 3. The babies look cute. If you compare this example to rule number 1, you realize that in rule number 1, baby does not carry the inflection ies. But here, you can see ies is added when you change the y, which gives you the plural form of baby. So you say the babies look cute. You don't need s in the verb because the noun or the subject carries the s. And you should always remember that when your subject carries s, your verb does not need to carry any s. We move on to example 4. They have gone to the market. They is plural, pronouns, so the verb must also be plural. So we said they have gone to the market. Instead, they have gone. Number 5, the teachers always dress smartly. Here, teachers is in the plural form. The verb dress should also be in plural form. Therefore, you don't need to add es, the inflection you add in rule number 1. So we move on. Rule number 3, compound subjects takes plural verb. Now, what do we mean by a compound subject? A compound subject refers to 2 or more subjects that share the same verb. When a compound subject is connected by an coordinating conjunction, the verb that follows is usually plural. Let's look at this example. Example 1, Dakar and Lagos are big cities. What are the compound subjects? We have Dakar as a subject and Lagos as a subject connected by the conjunction and. Therefore, it takes the plural verb. We said Dakar and Lagos are big cities. Suppose that is one subject, you would have said Dakar is a big city, or we said Lagos is a big city. But when you join them, you say Dakar and Lagos, then you can no longer say is. You say are, because your subject is already plural. Example 2, monkeys and hyenas live in the bush. You have two subjects here, monkeys, and another subject, hyenas. The verb also will be plural. So this example, I want you to look at it very well. Even though the subject monkeys was not connected to the subject hyena, it will still take a plural verb because monkeys is already plural. So what I want you to understand here is that compound subjects connected by an always takes plural verb. You said, Modu and Aliu are friends. You have Modu as a subject and Aliu as a subject. You join them. What joined the two subjects is the conjunction an, so it takes plural verb. You said, Modu and Aliu are friends, or otherwise, you can also say, Aida and Aishatu live in the same compound. We move on. And rule number 4, singular subjects that are joined by correlative conjunction such as either or, neither nor, either of, neither of, and or take singular verb. Example 3 tells you that if they are joined by a coordinating conjunction, it takes plural verb. But this one is correlative conjunction. If two subjects are joined by a correlative conjunction, it takes singular verb. We have example 1. Either Omar or Babu is fit for the job. So we have two subjects, that Omar and Babu, but they are not joined by coordinating conjunction. They are joined by correlative conjunction. And the rule says, if they are joined by correlative conjunction, it takes singular verb. Therefore, you say, either Omar or Babu is fit for the job. You cannot say, either Omar or Babu are fit. You would have said that if you had used coordinating conjunction. For instance, you say, Omar and Babu are fit for the job. But either Omar or Babu is fit for the job. You cannot say either Omar and or Babu are fit, because either or is a correlative conjunction. And when correlative conjunction joins two subjects, it takes singular verb. You could have said, Omar and Babu are fit for the job, because and is a coordinating conjunction. And when coordinating conjunction joins two singular subjects, it takes plural verb. But because they are joined by correlative conjunction, it takes singular verb. So you said, either Omar or Babu is fit for the job. Example 2, neither Bintu nor Sally has the key to the store. You cannot say neither Bintu nor Sally have the key, because neither nor is a correlative conjunction. When correlative conjunction joins two subjects, it takes singular verb. We give another example. Neither the teacher nor the student was in class. You cannot say neither the student nor the teacher were in class, because were is plural of was. So the correct verb here is was. Said neither the teacher nor the student was in class. We look at rule number 5. Some nouns that are plural in forms take singular verb. There are nouns end in S, but they take singular verb. In rule number 1, we discussed that nouns are plural when they have s, but not all. Exceptionally, there are nouns with s and they're still singular, or they are treated as singular nouns because they take singular verb. Let's look at the following examples. Mathematics, always with s. Economics, with s. Electronics, with s. News, with s. Athletics, with s. All these nouns have s, but then they are not treated as plural. They are treated as singular because they carry singular verb. Now let's use them in sentences we see. Example 1, mathematics is easier than chemistry. You can see in the word mathematics, s is there, but this s does not indicate plural. It's part of the word. Therefore, in English, you cannot say mathematics without s. And when you add the s, it doesn't mean plural. That's the name of the subject. Always goes with s. Mathematics is easier. You cannot say mathematics are easier. It does not work that way. You say mathematics is easier than chemistry. Example 2, economics. The s is always there. You don't say economic. You said economics was my favorite subject at senior school. You don't say economics were. You said economics was. Example 3, electronics is a popular subject in GTTI. Example 4, the news was broadcasted on GRTS. We've seen the s in news. That does not make it plural. So you cannot say the news were broadcasted. You say the news was broadcasted because news is singular, so it has to take a singular verb. We look at example 5. Athletics is his area of concentration in sport. We look at the agreement here, the subject and the verb. Athletics as the subject singular, so the verb is agrees with the subject. You don't say athletics are, because athletics, even though end with s, is treated as singular. So you say athletics is his area of concentration in sport. We move on to rule number 6. Some nouns that refer to singular items and are either in pairs or because of their physical nature take plural verb. There are nouns that are always in pairs, in two. These nouns always take plural verb. We have the following example: trousers. We have scissors, always in pairs. Glasses, clothes. All these nouns take plural verb, even though it's one. You said one trouser or one trousers. You said his trousers are torn and dirty. Not his trousers is torn and dirty. His trousers are torn and dirty. Number 2, her scissors were taken by the other girl. You can see scissors agrees with the verb were. Modest glasses are expensive. Not modest glasses is expensive. Fatu's clothes are wet and dirty. Not Fatu's clothes is, but Fatu's clothes are wet and dirty. We move on to rule number 7. Collective nouns take singular verb. Now, let's look at this. We have a word like committee, family, army, staff, class, etc. We call these collective nouns. Now, these collective nouns, they always take singular verb. We all know that collective nouns are always more than one, but because they are in their collection, we refer them as one. We have this example. The committee comprises 10 members. So here, when you say the committee, you are referring to one, except that you add S, committees, but then you are having different committees. So when you say the committee comprises, here the subject agrees with the verb because the subject here is treated as singular, so the verb must be singular. We look at this. The family is well united. Family is a collective noun, so it takes the singular verb. We say the family is well united. The example 3, the army was responsible for the riot. Army also is a collective noun, meaning a group of soldiers. So we say the army was, not the army were. Example 4, the staff organizes a big party annually. When we look at the word staff, we understand that it is referring to people working in a particular institution. For instance, you can have staff of GRTS, staff of NAWEC, Gambia Ports Authority. Now, there's one thing here you need to understand. One person cannot make up a staff. Therefore, in English, you don't say, my father is a staff of NAWEC. What you can say is a member of staff, because staff is the collection. So we say the staff organizes instead of the staff organize. Example 5, the class always makes a lot of noise in the absence of the teacher. Class is also treated as a collective noun. It comprises a group of students. So it takes singular verb. Now note, collective nouns may also take plural verb. When? This happens when it refers to its individual members or part of a group, but otherwise it takes a singular verb. Now let me repeat. I told you earlier that collective nouns take singular verb, but then there are exceptions. Some argue that collective nouns may also take plural verb, but when are they going to take plural verb? This happens when it refers to its individual members or part of a group. Therefore, you can say, as in example 1, the committee comprised 10 members. You say the family are well united, the army were responsible for the riot, the staff organized a big party, the class always make a lot of noise in the absence of the teacher. Rule number 8. Subjects that express an amount, that is measurement, a percentage, or a fraction, take singular verb. Example, $100,000 was budgeted for transport. We all know 100,000 is more than one. Okay, because in 100,000 you have a lot of thousands. But with all that, it takes singular verb. You said $100,000 was budgeted for transport. Example 2, 1/3 of the budget is meant for refreshment. 1/3 of the budget is meant for refreshment. Example 3, 10% was given to the cooks. You can see the agreement, 10% as the subject and was as the verb. You can also see the same agreement in example 2, 1/3 of the budget as the subject and the verb is. You can also see that agreement. Now, in summary, the subject and the verb in a sentence must agree in person and in number. Singular subjects take singular verbs, and plural subject takes plural verb. When a compound subject is connected by "and," the verb that followed is usually plural. Now you can have a look at this table. You have singular and plural. You can see is singular verb and the plural is are. You can see was singular, the plural is were. Am is singular, the plural is are. Has is singular, the plural is have. Once is singular, the plural is one. Knows is singular, the plural is know. Right is singular, the plural is right. Cries is singular, the plural is cry. So you can also have this table in sentence form. You have singular subject and verb and plural subjects and verb. You can compare them. The baby cries and the babies cry. Lamin jumps, Lamin and Musa jump. The girl claps, the girls clap. She sweeps the compound every morning. They sweep the compound every morning. You can see very well, in the singular form, the verb does not carry S. The verb always carry S. But in the plural form, the verb does not carry S. You can see she sweeps the compound. But in the plural form, they sweep the compound every morning. So we move on. We said Fatu visits her uncle in the village. We have Fatu, Aida, and Mariama visit their uncle in the village. Now, let us do this exercise. So, sentence 2 says, neither the boy nor the girl does the teacher's name. So we have option A, no, B, knows, and C, knowing. So which of these three options is the correct one? Option B, which is knows, is the correct one. We said neither the boy nor the girl knows the teacher's name. We look at example 3 or sentence 3. Physics does taught at high school. Is as option A, B, or C, or. So our correct option here is option A, which is. In English, we say physics is taught at high school. Sentence 4, the boy dash gone to work. Have, B, has, and C, are. So the correct option here is B. We say the boy has gone to work. You don't say the boy have gone to work. You cannot also say the boy are gone to work. Therefore, our correct option here is B, which reads the boy has gone to work. But let us try to change this. Suppose that we add S to the word boy. Now we have the boys. B would no longer be the correct one. If that was the case, Option A would have been the correct one because that would have given you the boys have gone. But because there's no S with the subject, so we're going for option B. So we say the boy has gone to work. So thank you very much until we come back tomorrow for another interesting lesson. Thank you.